What's up, everybody? You are now watching The Secret Show. So our first guest we've got, if you can see him right there, is Mr. Jeremiah Dirt. So what is up, Dirt?
Chilling like a villain. What's up, everybody? How come you ain't washing dishes by the sink?
I know. Normally that's what I'd be doing right now. So we got some people in the house watching us. So let me jump back over here. So what has been new in your world, man?
Well, I got a job. So that kind of shut down me being able to do the word digging every week. But I'm looking for an opportunity to at least still do them, you know, but maybe not as much, not as frequent.
Well, yeah, I know. Everybody's been missing you. You've been gone for like at least a couple months now.
I can't believe everybody's missing me, dude. That's why I got to make a comeback.
That's right. LL Cool J, don't call
the
comeback. All
I've been doing is watching my Jesus movie on nonstop repeat back there. Look at that. That's John the Baptist right there.
Is that because the DVD player's broke and it just keeps it on a loop, or what?
Oh, I had to set it up. I did it myself. Got to have that Jesus on nonstop. No, I bought a big, giant TV, and to justify it for myself, I'm going to use it to play the Jesus movie whenever I do a Google Hangout. How about that?
I love it, man. So what are you doing at your day job now? What does Dirt do for work?
Well, I mean, it's nothing special. It's just I'm in a warehouse filling orders for like a pipe company, oil field, because I'm out in Texas. So I was working at installing mobile homes, and the cool thing was I felt like God brought me here, and I was working like the lowest. I mean, I want to be respectful, but it was like the lowest. Like the mindset was like poverty. It was like mobile homes, and I'm not saying only ghetto people buy mobile homes, but I'm just saying the majority of people, it's just kind of ghetto and trashy, and even the mobile homes were built really kind of messed up. I remember I was in one of the special units, and it had this beautiful glass window, and it looked gorgeous, and I was like, man, I want one of these in my bathroom, when I buy my own house. And I went up and pushed on it a little bit, and I kid you not, man, if I would have pushed a little bit harder, that thing would have just tipped over, So I went from the bottom, and now I'm here. No, I went from the bottom kind of job out here, no benefits, no nothing, $10 an hour, super hard work. You're laying bricks all day. And then I had this opportunity to go, interview for this other job. And I felt like, no, it's cool. I got a job already. And then I felt like the Holy Spirit was telling me, look, can you just go and check it out? And I went, and I got hired on the spot, making $5 more an hour, benefits. And everybody there is like Christian. And where I was, there was like meth heads and, high turnover. It was just a crazy, but I felt like God was showing me, look, dude, I brought you to bless you. Like, so if you're going to settle for, this, then that's on you. But I'm trying to give you this, so it was a blessing. So I'm blessed. And I miss you guys too, doing the word digging and all that. But trust me when I say I'm blessed and I'm doing well. And I'm definitely looking for and praying for the opportunity to do the Bible studies again, working on it.
Yeah. So why don't you tell people, if they're not familiar with what you've been doing with word digging, what that is about and what channel they can see that on? Because we're jealous we don't have you on our channel, but hey, you guys are all still family.
We just got to come up with a different Bible study name, and I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Freaking Take on the World Bible Study. No, I was doing with my cohorts in ministry. I was going to say crime, but I guess to the world it might be a crime. To the devil, it's a crime. He don't like it. But It was just a Bible study where when I study the Bible, I like to dig into words. So, if you're going to ask me to do a Bible study, it's going to be centered around kind of digging into the original language, because I think the Greek and the Hebrew and the Aramaic is real beautiful, So the whole Bible study was just kind of centered around that. but I also wanted to bring to the Through the Black channel, you know, a little bit, I don't want to say more lighthearted, but less, you know, something more interactive and something, you know, we could have a little more fun with because, man, when I'm listening to Tom and Jared, they are so deep in some of the stuff they talk about. It's almost, it's like that rich double, triple chocolate cake. You know, you like take a couple bites and you're like, oh, I got to take a break. You know, you're like sweating it out. So, you know, just to add something to the channel to kind of loosen it up a little bit so that people stay, you know, focused in on their ministry too, you know. So
Yeah.
hopefully I did that. Everybody knows I'm an
Well, hopefully you will
entertainer and I'm
continue to do that.
well, I mean, and that's the goal, but the Bible study I think was more, you know, I'm an entertainer at heart. So hopefully I brought a little bit more, you know, hopefully it was entertaining. I've heard it was.
Yeah.
My shovel's over there.
So here's the deal. October 22nd through the 25th, Take on the World 19 is coming. And we were blessed to have you at Take on the World 18. Maybe we'll talk about that story about how we met and how we just connected that one day. You know, we can go into that maybe, but Take on the World 19, you're back, you're in the house, you're going to be doing live word digging. So you got some time to prep and prepare.
That's going to be
so it's
so
going to be
fun,
pretty.
bro.
Yeah, I want you to see. I want everybody to know you're going to be doing. You'll be doing some music within that study. You're going to just like it's going to be like a
when you came up with the
live
idea,
show Bible study.
Yeah, when you came up with the idea, I got to say I'm pretty excited because your word so far we haven't really expanded too much. But what if you did a live word digging Bible study? And I usually used to end them with those freestyles, and that freestyle just go into a live performance. And I was like, let's do that. So yeah, I'm excited.
It's gonna be dope. Yeah.
And I will let you know, Chris. I prayed. I already know what I want to do the Bible study about, but you couldn't pay me to tell you right now. That's a secret. You're gonna have to come to the conference, and it's gonna be super fresh. Before you go to the conference, maybe check out on the Through the Black channel the word diggings. You know, there's 15 of them up there. And you'll see, you got to come to this conference. It's going to be awesome. I'm one, but many awesome speakers that are going to be at this conference. So I'm really excited to be back this year.
Yeah,
kind of because I like just listening to people. That's my main thing. I like going to the teachings and whatnot and learning. So definitely.
Yeah, I saw you sitting in on a lot of things. I saw you sitting in on Rob Skiba's presentations. So
that was the first thing I came in on, bro.
Yeah, your mind was blown.
My mind was blown.
The one thing I want to share real quick is, and you don't even know this, but we're going to be doing our beach chats again this year. And hold on for a second.
I didn't get to sit in on any of those beach chats, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, this year, yeah, I got dinged. It said if I play that song one more time, they're gonna kick us off. Wow, that's a first.
Wow.
So, well, this is the dude.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing is I own it, so it's just funny. Okay.
Yeah, you guys want to go after? I mean, he's not putting up a fight. YouTube,
here
if you're watching
am.
this. Yeah. Right. Okay. So here's the deal. Beach chats. They were awesome last year.
Yeah.
25 people get to spend time with the speakers, just getting questions and answers. Last year we had Tom and Jared. Well, Jared can't be there live this year, so unfortunately that kind of stinks. But Dirt will be filling in. Dirt's going to be jumping in with Tom. We're going to be doing a live Q&A. Tom and Dirt will be rocking a little Q&A session. So a little bit of mix of some SRA with some all sorts of different questions that will happen during that thing. So those are coming this week. You guys on the Secret Show are the first ones to hear that. But we got.
I'm the first one to hear it.
First one to hear it. We do have people in the chat room, so they heard it too. Yeah, we've got watchers out there. So
Now, see,
I
my addition to Through the Black, you know, I've known Tom for a long time, and now getting to, you know Jared too. Um, I know Tom since back in the Tom Fest days. If you probably remember Tom Fest over, I think it was in Oregon or Washington, big Christian music gathering. But that's where I met Tom. But my inclusion into anything that they're doing is just, you're talking to a dude who's done music. I've used music for almost 30 years now to do ministry, and because I've been really open and you know, with my lyrics and whatnot about my own life and my own walk with God, tend to be really open with me. So besides, you know, my own stuff that I've gone through and abuse, you know, that I've gone through, just hearing everybody's story and being able to relate, you know. Um, so when you come to something like that, you know, sitting on the beach and hanging out and asking questions, you know, the beautiful thing about something like that is to be able to just connect with somebody that you kind of see making music or being on stage. You know, Tom's making these movies. Jared is like me, such a good entertainer. But I don't know if you know, but I was just with Jared at it was the Question Everything conference. And Jared
mhm.
is
Yep.
such a good speaker. But anyway, to sit together on the beach and get to connect and ask, you know, questions and personal stuff, it's really cool. So I'm down. I'm down to do that. Let's do that.
Oh, you know what? Hey, Dirt. I think they don't like that the Jesus movie in the background.
Oh, really? They
Yeah,
can see
that's
the
yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
movie?
Uh-huh.
That's
That's
weird,
crazy,
dude.
right?
No, what's weird
Yeah.
about
All
that
right,
is
we're
like
turning it
that
off. If you
that movie is like you can get it for free. It was like a ministry thing like that. And every time you see it on YouTube, it's some like dude that just posted it and they don't get dinged for it. So that's weird. You see, the
Yeah, that's
world don't
crazy. Yeah,
like Jesus, man. It's because
yeah,
they don't
right.
know Jesus like we know Jesus. That's the crazy thing. So, all right, we'll turn it off. It
So
can.
yeah, I saw this week you dropped a new album. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
It's a well, it's called. It's me and another dude together. So together we're called Solomon Kane, and you know that I've done music with a group called Shadow the Locust for a long time. So I put it under the Shadow Locust banner. So you're not going to be able to find it under Jeremiah Dirt, but you'll be able to find it under Shadow Locust. Uh, this album started in 2004, and now it's finally out. So it's gone through some stuff, but the whole idea behind the album was to make a battle. You know, a battle rap is like a subgenre of hip hop. Battle rap can tend to dip into like horrorcore hip hop too. And in 2004, there was a lot of artists in the secular realm that were getting real popular with what I would consider more horrorcore, but they were, a lot of them were Muslims and stuff. And so for the first time in hip hop, I was seeing like people just blaspheme Jesus like hardcore. You know, before, if you weren't down with Christ in hip hop, you just didn't say nothing, you know, or you might put on your album liner, you know, all thanks to God, but then go talk a bunch of nonsense, you know. But this was, to me, was the first time of seeing like secular hip hop artists like just straight up mention the name of Jesus or Christ and just say the horrible stuff, you know. And so I just kind of concepted, what if we did a Christian album, no holds barred, battle rap, kind of a bit of a response, but more like when you read the prophets in the Bible, you know, and the prophets were just hardcore. They brought the revelation of God. They didn't apologize about it, and they just brought it. So what if we did a battle Christian rap album? And so now you have it. It's called Solomon Kane. It's me and my friend named Konsu, and the album name is The Cross and the Switchblade. So if you look up any of that together, you're gonna find it. Um, and it's actually not released, Chris. Nobody knows about it, but you can get it on Bandcamp right now. and probably within 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be on everything: iTunes, Spotify, all that.
So it's secret, just like this show. I got you.
It's pretty darn secret, and I think that all we need to do now is get some secret sauce from In-N-Out and just pour it all over this show, and we got a complete.
Well, it's not a secret. It's not as secret as that album that was sort of like a mystery for a long time. And this is going to show that I actually know who you were. But that freestyle album that you guys did a long time ago, I believe it was the Red Room Freestyles, right?
Freestyles, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about that album because all we did was go to my house and record it, and then I would give it to people. I'd record it, on CD, or back in them days it was like tapes, and I would just give it to people, and then eventually it just got turned into, let's put it on our, again, Shadow Locust. If you look them up on iTunes or anything, you'll see that album on there. Actually, you know what? You won't. I don't know if you guys know, but on Bandcamp, on Bandcamp, they don't. They're not Nazis, They don't ding you for everything like YouTube and iTunes and everybody else will. So since that album has beats that are like well known, because we just had a DJ there scratching and mixing beats, and a lot of it was secular, like Snoop Dogg beats and Wu-Tang beats. So since it has those beats, but us freestyling over it, we had to put it only on Bandcamp. But this album has Red Cloud was there. There were so many dudes there. Seven Lock from back in the day was there. Some of the dudes from Future Shock, if you remember them, and Tunnel Rats were there. So we had all gone to this.
Some of the Lightheaded crew, right?
Yeah, Lightheaded, Absent Minded. We had gone to a concert, and we just had this weird notion to have an after party at my house. So after this concert, there was like 300 people at my house, literally on this street where 300 people should not be gathering at 1 a.m, but we did. And so we decided we were freestyling and getting into it. And my buddy looks over to me. He's all, dude, are you recording this? And I look at him because he kind of knew my studio technically more than me. And I was all, can we? He's all, yeah. And so we started recording. So yeah, it's definitely a fun album to check out.
See, those type of off the cuff things like we're doing now, you just can't beat them. I mean, it's real, it's authentic. We got nothing planned. We're just doing it, And I think I wanted to show that, you're not new to me. I'm way newer to you than you are to me. But I wanted to bring in a mutual friend of ours and how we connected and how you even got to take on the world. And he needs some prayer right now. He's going through some really tough times. So I figured we shot him out on this episode. So yeah, I mean, maybe you can even tell that maybe I'll tell the story and you can fill in some of the gaps. But we have a mutual friend, and I went to high school with this guy, or I went to even elementary school with this guy. His name is Doug, and I was friends with Doug. He had a crush on my sister. He spent the night in my house, that kind of stuff. So we knew each other. We were close growing up. He's always a little older because he failed some grades, so he was much older than us. But I always tease him about that. But he left the school. We lost touch for a long, long time. But it wasn't until I started doing shows, and I brought in. I don't even think you know this. I brought in. 1 year, DJ Mash, DJ Mash, yeah. He's Toby Mac's DJ. They were doing a show with Marzil and Pigeon John, and we had booked them at our church to come on out to the show. And funny thing, throughout that time of promoting, I ran into a guy promoting this dude that I knew as well, MG the Visionary, yep. And his name was Doug Kirshner, and I'm like, Doug Kirshner, I haven't heard that name since I was in 8th grade. And I called the number and we start talking, and it's the same guy, right? And lo and behold, he comes out to that show, and we hit it off. We became friends again, and we've been friends ever since. And that's kind of how this whole process started of just even getting to know who you were. I
Nope.
didn't even know, you know, what he did in the music industry, even though I was really well versed in it. I had no clue what Doug had done. And Doug was your manager for,
Yep.
I don't know how many years was he your manager?
Since I don't have an official manager to this day, I consider him my manager. He's still my man. I don't know if he
Yeah.
knows that, but he's still my manager.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll make sure he watches this. And if you guys were at 2017, he was our security guy who ran that. So big shout out to Doug. But Doug had called me up because he, you know, I was watching what, you know, Tom was doing because we were good friends, and he was putting you in this movie called This Is War.
Yeah.
And um, Doug said, "Hey, Dirt's coming into town. What, you know, we're doing some shows. Why don't you just come over to the house, hang out with him? I had never met you before." He's like, "Tom's gonna come." I'm like, "All right, well that's cool. You know, I get to talk to Tom about some of the conference stuff." Tom never made it, but we showed up within the first like 12 seconds of being there. We didn't stop talking for, you know, for
Oh yeah, we were
what,
hanging out the
you know,
whole
3,
time,
4,
dude.
5 hours. So
Yep.
yeah.
A lot of people might not know that Chris is like a Christian hip hop aficionado. So it was kind of cool to listen to you talk about this subculture that I've been so involved in, you know, and to hear you like know so many things that if I, you know, and I would love to write like a story of my life, you know, but if I ever did, I would love to just, I'd probably fact check a lot with you. Like, hey, what was going on in 1999, you know, because Chris like knows some things. So if you guys catch him, Chris, at the conference, make sure you ask him some Christian hip hop questions. Try to stump him. I haven't been able to
Yeah.
yet. I'm trying to think of some, but I can't stump him yet. So he's already.
The crazy thing is it's almost all Christian music that I could do that with. So, which is crazy.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah. Yeah, you know who else is really big into Christian music and Christian hip hop is Robbie Davidson, believe it or not.
Really?
Um, yeah, Robbie's super into it. He's more into like the dance hip hop style, but I mean, he used to be a b-boy. He was part of a dance crew.
That
He rapped a little bit too.
that
Yeah, yeah,
guy's
yeah.
so tall. I can't imagine
Yeah.
him b-boying, bro.
If you haven't, okay, so if you go to Robbie Davidson's personal YouTube channel, he has a video of him doing some breakdancing on his cruise. They had pulled him up onto the crowd. They were doing breakdancing, and yeah, they pick people from the audience, and then they try to get him to do certain things. And lo and behold, he had already all these moves already down, and they
Wow.
were just already in awe of this dude, you know, who's like 7 foot tall, you know, breakdancing like nobody's business. So check that out. It's so funny.
Wow.
So
All right.
yeah.
I'll check
So
that
yeah,
out.
Robbie's me and him. We spent, you know, when we have him on the Secret Show, we'll talk about all this stuff, and we'll go into some of those details. So stay tuned for that Secret Show. If you guys, here's the thing: if you guys aren't subscribed to Take on the World TV, you're not going to know when the Secret Show starts. So make sure to go out there, spread it. And here's the thing: we may just delete these shows a couple days after the fact to keep them secret. I'll save them and then re-upload them at a certain time. But we want you guys to watch these things live. They're going to be at different hours, different times. So it's going to be a lot of fun. A way to promote everybody's business and you know what they're doing ministry wise in the conference. So super fun. So and Nate Wolf is in the chat room. He just posted the video.
What up, Nate?
Yeah. So yeah.
I love Nate. That's my boy.
Yeah,
I
Nate.
actually miss because Nate was doing his live stuff like right after the word digging stuff, and I just miss like telling everybody to go over to his channel now, you know. So yeah, it's my boy.
Yeah.
I was going to show you. Can I do a screenshot?
Yeah. Go for it.
All right, just to wrap up what we were talking about. Well, I didn't know if I could, but I guess I can. So can you see this? Oh, here we
Mm,
go. Here we go. Here we go. You see that, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what, just so you guys know, that's what we're talking about. Shadow of the Locust right here is the crew that I've done music with for, decades. This is the Red Rum freestyle album that Chris was talking about. And look at these artists, man. When are you ever going to have this many Christian underground artists? Sojourn, Nomadic, Dumbstruck, Othello, Seven Lock, Evolve, Red. These are dudes from Tunnel Rats and Future Shock and whatnot, all in one place. So if you love hip hop, especially that real hip hop, like this is a bunch of underground Christian artists, ripping freestyles just for the heck of it. And somebody was able to put it on record, And then Shadow of the Locust as a crew released this last year. It's a really slept on album. It's called A Mighty Army Cometh, the Bible verse in the book of Job, which is where we get our name from, because it talks about the plague of locusts. Beautiful album. Me and my buddy were talking about it today, how we're like, man, this album is so hot. You got like 9 different people that worked on this album. And then, last but not least, here it is, top secret. Jeremiah Dirt and Konsu as Solomon Kane, and the album's called The Cross and the Switchblade. So if you like that really moody, emotional, kind of underground, kind of darker b-boy type of boom bap hip hop, battle rap, but representing Christ, really revelatory, prophetic. And the funny thing is, we set out to make this battle album, but the funny thing, what I noticed when I keep listening to it, is we talk about Jesus like so much in this album. It's so awesome. So check them out. Now, how do I get off the screen share? All right. Yeah, check
All
those
right.
out.
Well, you did share the live link, so hopefully no hackers come and try to get in on this thing. So no,
Oh,
that's great. Yeah, I got my son carrying my cat around. Put her down, please. This is live. This is this is live.
How low are you
This is as
sitting?
real as
Because
they get.
you looked up. Son,
Look at
put
this.
that cat down. Come here, Ramses. Here, look at. I
mean,
got
come on.
Ramses.
This is what I have to deal with. She's like 6. Hey, anybody in the chat room, you can please tell them to please put her down.
What are you supposed to do with pets? Huh, little Ramses.
Yeah, except for she's like 15 years old and she don't want to be carried around like
Yeah,
that.
she's not looking happy. Is Ramses looking happy? I can't tell. Is he smiling?
Yeah. A little bit.
This dog
he's not
do
sniffing at you.
anything. He doesn't do nothing. Here, go back to bed, buddy. All right.
So for those of you who don't know, you've been touring, doing shows at churches, clubs, underground places, prisons, ministries, men's retreats. You've been doing everything. How long you've been doing that for?
I signed. I mean, if you don't know this already, you're gonna know it now. But I signed to Rescue Records in '94, and maybe 2 or 3 years before that, I was on my, just underground going to. Me and my friend Seven Lock would go to every single show, which in San Diego that was every weekend, every show we could, every b-boy hip hop event, and we would literally grab the mic. I mean, we weren't rude about it, but there were times when people just thought we were there to perform. So they just handed over the mic and we weren't even on the bill or nothing. And we would just start ripping it. So it's been a long time. But, I've had my ups and downs, obviously, in personal life. But musically, I just love Jesus, and so hopefully, looking back at that
when did that relationship
discography,
start?
My life with Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have like that moment where I went down an aisle in a church, but I think around the time I was 15 or 16, I just started taking God really serious, And by the time I was 19, I was signed to Rescue Records and making an album by 99 that was being distributed, worldwide. So it was in my mid-teens when it just got real serious for me because And I couldn't even tell you maybe even the reason. It was just even as I was growing up as a kid, I kind of had that experience of knowing that there was something bigger and better than myself. And I know part of
Mm.
that would be just because of the abuse or any of the negative stuff I went through, hoping that there's something better, but just by the time I hit 15, just really saying, you know what? I had studied a lot of religions. I was real interested in like sociology. Not that I knew what that meant when I was 13 and 14, but the way people worked, and I would go in on my own. School was boring to me, Chris, so I would just go on my own and go into the library and study like religions and Rasta and Catholic and Jehovah Witness and all these different people and their beliefs. And the more I studied about just Jesus Christ, the more I fell in love with him. And so by the time I was 15, 16, I just decided that's where that's where I'm staking my claim, So,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Because I'll say this, being around as a fan of the subgenre that you're in of music, there's so many people who have walked away from the
oh man,
faith,
it's sad.
and it's a lot of these same stories. I mean, even some of those early pioneers. I mean, who was the first one that
Michael
broke you
Peace.
into Michael Peace?
Well, I remember that was a hip hop album sold in the bookstore when I was like 12 or 11. But there was a group actually called Mode X, and it was a DJ and a rapper, and they were part of. If some of you guys might know Miles McPherson, he's from. He has the Rock Church right now in San Diego, but he came off of Calvary Chapel. Mike McIntosh was like his direct, teacher, leader, whatever. But they were a rap crew that would go around with him when he was a youth pastor and do little shows. And they really taught me that I could love Jesus just the way I am. Because like it or not, I was a b-boy. I grew up hip hop. You're not talking to a dude who was on the outside of the culture looking in. I grew up hip hop. I am hip hop. I make hip hop. I proliferate hip hop. So a lot of people might not remember, but when I was growing up, the church had gotten out of the hippie long hair, you guys can't praise God to the hippies. And now it was the hip hop kids. You can't, wear baggy pants and love the Lord. And that's what I was growing up in. The church telling me that I couldn't praise God the way that I was, So it was real cool to have them kind of teach me that you could love hip hop, grow up in hip hop, and still love God, and so that's what I started doing. I
Well,
was a
it's
b-boy
quite
too,
funny
Chris.
now.
I was
You
a
and Robbie,
b-boy.
man,
I was
same
a
kind of world.
b-boy. I was a b-boy until I started hurting myself, and then I was like, I gotta figure out something a little more easy on the body. So that's what kind of
Yeah.
drove me into MCing.
So Michael Peace, what album was that? Do you remember?
Well, I say Michael Peace because I remember that being in that bookstore, but who really affected me was PID, SFC, and if you remember a crew called Apocalypse Now. Those
Yes.
those were like the albums. I used to love everything that they were putting out. And since I was a new Christian, or this was kind of before I even got real serious about God, I stole them all. I stole every single one of them. I went into that Berean Bible bookstore, and the little ghetto
Mm.
thief that I was, because I didn't have no money, I stole every single one of them. So I remember later in life, because I stole my first Bible too. I still have it, actually. It was a Thompson Chain reference. And I remember when I first was starting to kind of get serious about God, I was like, I want a really good Bible. I got a stack down here. I can't see it. But I was like, I want the best Bible because I want to learn like deep stuff about God. And I didn't have no money. I walked in that Bible bookstore as probably 14 years old with maybe 25 cents. And this Bible was like $79. So I stole that Bible. So later, I went back to the same store that I had stole that Bible and a couple, rap albums, and this was like probably when I was maybe 17. And I went back and told the manager, look, years ago, I stole this Bible. I stole some CDs or tapes back then, and the manager said, "You know what? I told her, you know, whatever you want to do, do it. I'll work here. I'll volunteer here, whatever." And I remember she told me, "You know what? I really appreciate that you came and kind of confessed. I want you to consider those a gift, record clean, you know." And so
Hmm.
that was almost one of my first experiences of being forgiven, you know, by a person, you know, of the same faith as me. And so that was really a powerful moment. You know, I was expecting police. I was expecting go work in the kitchen, you know, but she straight up said, record clean, you're forgiven. And I became a customer in that store, and I was never looked at weird, like, you know, people following me like I'm going to steal a kid, you know. I was treated with respect, and that was really cool to go through that experience. But you heard it here on the Secret Take on the World show. Dirt stole his first Bible. Wah, wah, wah. And I
Well,
still have it.
you know, well, if, you know, that led you at that time being signed to Rescue Records. If everybody doesn't know, there's a really big band that made it really huge, and they got their start on Rescue Records too, and they're called POD.
Who's that?
And you may have heard them as
Payable
on
on death.
uh, yeah, Alive, all those things. Well, if you guys don't know, there's a couple albums that Dirt's on.
Actually, just
Some
one.
of the
Just one,
well, two,
but on two
technically two.
different songs.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well,
you're
actually,
on you're
you're
on
right because we re-recorded "Breathe Babylon" for the Warrior EP. So in a way, it was a new version of that song. So yeah, technically
yeah.
two albums, same song though.
Well, yeah, and I think it's that also on the EP of the Tooth and Nail release. The songs
Well,
on
that
that
was
album too.
that was the re-recording of "Breathe Babylon." But then when they made the Warrior EP, that same "Breathe Babylon" went on to the Warrior EP too. So I guess technically three albums.
Yeah,
But hey,
but those guys are from San Diego. Um, that's where you're from, correct?
yes.
So yeah, I mean, you guys used to rock shows, do tours, so I mean, you're no stranger to you know, to any of these big names out in the industry. You know, you've been doing this for a super long time, and I mean, we're just humbled, you know, to have you part of, you know, Take on the
Don't be
World. And
starting, Chris. Don't start with that.
yeah, man.
We all know who the
No, I
humble one
mean,
here is, me, because I'm gonna tell you, I do. People know me as doing the music, right? And you know, I love teaching. You know, you've seen shows back in the day. Even I'm always taking those little opportunities to kind of teach in between songs if I can, and I, you know, feel led. But I'm getting old. I'm getting gray hairs. I'm getting too old. People are like saying pump out more albums, and I'll do it. I'll do it till the end. But I'm gonna tell you, I really enjoy the opportunity to do some other things like the teaching and stuff and sharing my testimony. But I really don't get a lot of those opportunities in parallel to, hey, you're Dirt the performer. And when you asked me to come, you know, last year to the conference, I was really blessed to be asked to come and be able to sit in with. I got to sit in with you know, Tom and Jared with Through the Black, and just to be able to have that kind of aspect going on. And now you're almost bumping it up and saying, hey, let's do a live word digging, and then you could do a performance. I'm like, man, I want to do that, and I'm excited about that. And so if anybody's humbled, especially, you know, when I sat on that panel last year with everybody that had been there, oh, you want to talk about being humbled? I was like, I don't deserve to be up here, man. There's some really intelligent, awesome people up here. So trust me when I say
well, that,
I'm humbled, and all I'm asking is that you guys, if you're considering coming, don't even consider anymore. Just whatever fence you're on, just tip yourself over, because one of the most beautiful things I told you, Chris, you and your wife, was that what I noticed and I took away from the conference is you had different people with different ideas. Well, all within the Christian, you know, frame, but it was so peaceful, and it was, everybody was together. There was no like hard. There was a discussion and healthy debate, but there was no like like funky evilness and, you know, separation and division. So it was just a beautiful place to come and listen to ideas that might blow your mind, and you might walk away not agreeing still, but you don't have to be afraid, because every time I see in the world we're in the politics, people come together with different ideas. They're fighting, they're throwing stuff. It's getting crazy. You know, screw Trump. No, I support Trump. It's like, it's crazy, dude. And people are fighting. But if you want to come to a place and just learn some cool Christian stuff, you know, some new ideas within the Christian parameters, you come to Take on the World Conference. We get together, we share together, and it was really beautiful. And plus the setting was beautiful. I don't know how you guys got that place, but it was beautiful.
Hey, that's, you know, that's not a, you know, that's just something that, you know, was given to us, no doubt about it. That place is amazing.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you.
Can you tell people real quick? Tell people real quick where it's at if they don't. If they don't know
Hey, you got some interview skills too. You could start doing this too. The place is in Vermilion, Ohio, set on beautiful, gorgeous Beulah Beach, Vermilion, Ohio, right on Lake Erie. So the scenery is by far amazing.
Gorgeous.
And I mean, you can look out at that horizon, that horizontal line. We won't get into that. But it's so beautiful and so perfect out there. I mean, I'll tell you, it is just stunning to be there.
And you might know more than me, but how many people, I know at least a few, but there were people baptized in that beautiful water, dude.
Oh, yeah. There was about 50 people that got baptized last year.
Wow, so that's awesome.
Yeah. You know, a couple, there was a deliverance session that happened last year, a couple of them, but one where Tom Jared, they led a young gal to being slain of a demon on the front grass before the conference even started. There were salvation stories that occurred. There were, like I said, those 50 different baptisms that occurred throughout the whole weekend, rededications, deeper understanding of following his commandments. I mean, it was just an unbelievable time. And, you know, that's the thing. We do this conference so that, you know, he can show up and do the work that he set out to do. And, you know, all year we do all the planning, the organizing, doing all those things. And, you know, he preps us for that work. But then that day comes and then we just sit back and, you know, are humbled that we even played a small role in allowing him to do all of his work in the setting that he wanted to happen. So,
and you know, I'm gonna add, with all the stuff that you just said, kind of goes to show the atmosphere of the conference, because all those baptisms and kind of salvation scenarios, they weren't really in the actual teachings per se. They were more just people hanging out, people going to these beach settings, and people, you know what I mean? That young girl that got delivered before the conference kind of even started, that's all she came to do. She came and Tom and Jared were with her out, kind of outside by the water, and then she actually went, you know, back home. My point being is that you're not going to come into an environment where people necessarily from the stage are, you know, making funky demands that you walk up to the front, and, you know, it's just real loving and caring. And if you feel moved, you know, to rededicate, or you feel moved to be baptized, there's going to be somebody there that will love to do that with you. And it was just a real beautiful, everything was just so beautiful, the way that people were treating each other. So again, don't be on the fence no more. Just tip over and come on, let's go.
And do it, right? I mean, there it is. Shameless plug. We're on Take on the World TV.
No shame.
There it is.
No shame. No shame.
Yeah.
By the way, I want one of those hats, but they're still making them.
Yeah, Stan Still made these hats. I don't know. There might be a new version. This is a 2018 version, this one is limited edition. This Galaxy one is pretty tight, right? So
I like that.
This is my son's hat. He was wearing it today. The one thing that I love about, it's a little small. Here's the one thing that I love about the conference is you talked about that panel. You know, you may have felt humbled to be on that panel. But here's the cool part is that whole panel that everybody on, nobody's better than anybody else. Here's the thing. Somebody may have more knowledge or more spiritual maturity in one area. And this goes not only just for speakers, this goes for the guests. We're all walking this, this battle and this journey together. So, we're all in the same boat, in the same page. No, we're all just all trying to hopefully be humble servants of the Most High. But what's so cool is when we look up at that panel, it's so eclectic,
Yeah.
and so many different styles, so many different, you're sitting over here, underground hip hop style sitting, and then there's Dr. Pigeon, who is a lawyer, right? And he looks like a lawyer. But here's the end of the day. You don't see that how different we all are.
Yeah.
On the outside, but we start to see how spiritually we're in one accord. And I think that's what is so amazing, what happens and occurs when true brothers and sisters in the Lord get together. That's what is shown and what is represented, which will be what we can all look forward to when we are all in that same one accord, amongst even the brethren who we don't agree with currently on certain topics, and they make them dividing. We're heading towards when all truth will be made known. But that's the one thing I love about the conference is that true spirit of and it's not oneness in regards of ecumenicalism, that everybody with different religion, and different doctrinal stances, we can all be right. Well, no, we're not talking that nonsense. But what we are talking about is some of those really important topics, which on the basics we all fundamentally agree on, and yet we can keep those greatest commands, especially love your neighbor as yourself, and that really shows at the conference. And so some of the topics, if we're talking about biblical cosmology, there's people going to be on all sorts of different pages on that topic, but it's not a dividing issue. It's one that we can look at, and I'm going to hopefully be able to push you that way. So here's my shout out to Flat Out Insights. Go check that out. Michael Solomon, hopefully you're watching. And I saw Chad Schaefer just popped in the chat room.
He pops, bro. He comes in like a little incognito, and then he bounces out.
Yeah, right. I stole his disputed lands. So pray for Chad. He just moved into a bigger home. He's got some really cool things that him and his family, have blessings right now. So
did you notice his new theme song for his?
Yeah, so that was going to be a little segue. Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about?
I don't know if you noticed, but there's a new theme song he's got going on, and I heard that a very handsome white Christian rapper did it.
Yeah. Was that Play-Doh?
What, bro? He is pretty handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He approached me about doing the theme song, and I was like, heck yeah, man. That was awesome. So here's the funny thing, and I think I said this once somewhere. I think I said it on one of the word diggings, but it's disputed lands. But I wrote the lyrics and wrote the chorus and did all this work for like 2 days and recorded it. And I had my wife do like a radio voice, that you hear on it. And like a big dummy, I was saying distant lands in the chorus. So literally I was about to send it to him. I was typing him and telling him, I was all excited. I'm about to send it. And I had it playing in the background, and I was like, wait, it's disputed lands, bro. So I had to go run upstairs and spend the next 40 minutes just taking out disputed and taking out distant and putting in disputed. See, I'm still confused about it, man. This is crazy. I'm out of here. I quit. I'm done. No more rapping for you, Dirt.
That video turned out great. The intro and the outro. Jake Grant did the video to that. It was killer. So I mean, man, could he have picked? Better imagery to go with that.
Oh, yeah,
it's super cool. Yeah, it's awesome. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's great. If it does not say Chad Schaefer, and here's the crazy thing, you know, Chad, he's watching. It's so funny, he's like into hip hop and those things too. So it's
He
so
is,
funny,
bro.
some of the old school stuff. Yeah. So,
He
yep.
he he was rapping for me one time before I did an interview, with Disputed Lands, and before when we're just talking together, and he was starting to spit some little flows. I was like, dang, he's got that drawl on his voice though. That he has a real hard drawl sometimes, and I was like, dang, bro, that's like a new style right there, bro. So I'm gonna
Next,
try to get him.
hey, next,
I'm gonna try to get
get
him
him
on
on
a
the next
track,
album.
dude. I'm gonna try to get him on
Yeah.
a track. He
There you
spit.
are. I
He
mean, Chad, you
spits
better chime in on
disputed
that one.
fire right there.
Yeah.
We'll try. I'll get him on a track when I can get you on a track. How about that?
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna try. We should just get a
No,
whole. No, what we should do is get a whole take on the world, the whole panel. Like we are the world, bro. We should all just
yeah.
get on a track, dude, and just
Take on the
the
world like that.
world.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are the children. No, I don't know. We'll change it. We'll mess with it. We'll work with it. It's a work in
Yeah.
progress, guys. But wouldn't that be cool to have us all up there, just arms on the shoulders, and just man, we're gonna do it. We're gonna
That may
do
look like an ecumenical movement by the end of it. So. Yeah. That may. Yeah. I mean, it may look a little too cultish, right? So. Yeah. So tell us what So now we're encouraging you, and everybody else in the chat room is too. We got to get you back to doing more. Set yourself up. Maybe getting back to doing twice a month word digging. Maybe doing them pre-recorded or something around that new schedule to get these things loaded. So people are missing. People are definitely missing you. So
I'll be able to get back on it. Part of the issue too was I really loved doing it, and I was really I had certain people telling me make them shorter, make them. But I just loved hanging out with you guys, and I really saw people using the technology for good reasons. People would be in the chat rooms praying with each other and encouraging each other, and so part of it too was that you guys know I'm deep, or at least I think I'm deep. So I get really involved, when I'm trying to. I don't you can't just come to me and say do a Bible study. I'm really like I want to do a Bible study. I want to study the Bible, and so I think also it got a little overwhelming to once a week, come up with these Bible studies, because I really try to do them as I feel led, Chris, and that's what I kind of realized. Like I don't want to do them unled. I want to be led by the Holy Spirit, and some of the topics were real heavy. I want you guys, if you haven't watched the Word Digging Bible studies, go and find, there was a 4-part one, experience versus position. Doing that Bible study actually taught me, and I was just blown away. I saw God in such a whole different light after 30 years walking with Christ. To see him again in a different and even better and more beautiful light, it blew me away. So these Bible studies were really cool for both. I didn't feel like I was doing a Bible study for you guys. I felt like I was doing one with you guys. So as long as I can keep that vibe going, yeah, I'm going to get back on it. So no worries. I'll be
awesome.
back.
Well, hey, here's the thing. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the show. So all these shows, these secret shows, here's what we're going to do, everybody. We want to keep them to about an hour, even though we could speak for hours and hours and hours. But here's the cool part of the show. So I am watching the chat room right now, and we're going to do 5 hot seat questions. These are like some real hot seat things. So if you're in the chat room, I've got some for Dirt.
Wait, for you, right? This is hot.
And here's the thing,
Chris.
Yeah.
Dirt's totally out of it. We're gonna ask Dirt's some hardcore questions.
Yeah, and Dirt's allowed to give me a hot seat question, and I'll take a hot seat question from the crowd. So if you're out there, so we can go ahead. We can. We're gonna go with 5 questions. I've got one for Dirt. He's got one for me. So you can I get to take one from you guys. So we're gonna take 4 questions from the audience. I've got one for Dirt, and then Dirt's got one for me. So I'm gonna sit here and wait till they come in. So we're gonna sit here and wait. I know you guys can hear me. So we really want to put them on the hot seat. So
Hot seat.
don't make me So yeah, this is gonna be the fun part of the show, and then we're gonna close out. But I don't know if you could start if you want to start with what you've got for me.
Okay, we want to know, when's the last time you had hair on your head?
Oh, that's a good question. When was the last time I had hair on my head? Um, I'll do. You know what I could do is.
We need to see a picture, my bro.
Do you want to?
We need
instead of telling
photographic
me,
evidence that you
Okay.
once had hair on your head, because I've never seen it, and I don't believe
Okay.
it.
Okay, here's what I need you to do. Okay?
What?
I'm going to go find a picture. You need to entertain the audience right now. Okay, so here's what's going to happen right now.
I don't know where you're at. Where are you on YouTube looking at the chat room?
Yes. So here's my. I'll ask the question. I'm not telling you where they're at. So here's what's going to happen. I want you. This is my hot seat question. I'm putting you on the hot seat. I want you to freestyle until I come back with that. Can you freestyle until I come back?
Put it in a. All right, I see what you're doing there, dude.
And I have to go back and watch this because I'm going to miss this. So I will be right back. I'm going to find a picture because you put me on the hot seat for my hair. So I put you on the question. Can you freestyle till I come back?
I think I can, but let me find the chat room first. Where are you, dude? Is it just TOTW?
You're going to go to Take on the World.
I'm in YouTube. I want to see everybody who's in the chat room.
I heard Chris donated his hair to Dirt's chin.
Did you guys notice? Oh, here we go. Did you guys notice that it got cut a little bit here? Wait, let me turn this volume down. You guys didn't notice? You didn't even say nothing, Chris. It was double the length last time you guys saw me, dude. Did I take the volume all the way down? All right. Well, I didn't even notice that Chris left, so I'm all nervous because we're all alone now. What am I going to do? All right, I'm supposed to freestyle until he gets back, and hopefully he's finding a picture of photographic evidence of his hair, so we'll start there. All right, check it. I don't think Chris has the graphic evidence of him having hair because none has ever been there. And if he brings back the pic, you better trust you and I that pic is fake, like a NASA moon landing. Oh, that's Diggity Dirt explaining something that'll blow your mind when I redefine the lines of sublime sublimity. Check it out. Scripture, the devils can't hit me because I'm protected by the Trinity, the holy power. That's Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and Father God, all about the place. And Holy Spirit will devour the devils at a crazy rate. That's why Dirt and us at Take on the World, we give praise and thanks. Wait a minute. How long I got to rap? See, how long? This was a trick question, Chris. Because I got to sit here and rap forever because there's no picture of you with hair. Oh, get out of here, dude. Trying to find a picture of him with hair. Anyway, I'm going to go over to the chat room. Who's in the chat room? What's up, Nate Wolf? JJ Youngblood? Who was in here? Samuel Owen Hancock? Chad Schaefer, a.k.a. Disputed Lands? All right, my question for you guys is, can you freestyle for the length that Chris is going to go get photographic evidence of him with hair? Because I don't think anybody can do that. It's impossible because there's no evidence. This is like trying to ask NASA to give us a real picture of the Earth. it's going to be photoshopped. It's going to be, you know, somebody else's hair on top of his face. It ain't going to happen. So anyway, did anybody ask a hot seat question yet? If you did, copy and paste it back.
You know.
Oh,
Okay,
see,
here's the deal.
you know, I can't find it. Yeah, come on, Chris.
Okay.
Give us the real deal, bro. Can't find it.
I got the next best thing.
No, we don't want the next best thing. This is some old NASA stuff, bro. I'm out. This is crazy.
So this is evidence and proof. Okay, 2002. You're right. I didn't have hair. You know, this one may be X-rated. You know, for So there it is. There, you know, I was a little younger, but you know,
kids,
still,
please hide your kids. If you watch this and there's kids in the room, please hide your kids. I didn't see no hair.
So I
bro.
really can't answer your. I know. I'm telling you. I'm looking at every picture in this house. I can't find it. Okay.
I knew they didn't go to the moon, bro. I knew it.
1998 was the last time I had hair.
I don't believe you.
It was the last time I had hair. But it was very short in 1998. 1997, if I show you the picture, if I can actually find it, and I will have to post it online, I actually had really bad hair, and it looks like almost like a hairnet. So I'm exposing myself right on this one. So,
okay, I'm going to ask a hot seat question to everybody in the chat room. Do you believe that Chris had hair in 88?
1998.
1998.
Yes.
All right. We'll see, bro. I don't think nobody believes that stuff. If you believe that, I got some pictures of the first moon landing from America that I can sell you. Let's put it that way.
Well, hey, great job, Nate. Yeah, where are these questions, everybody? Okay, so here's my question for you then.
You already asked me one.
Because it looks like we have it looks like we have a hacker in there. Yeah, he's gonna try to jump into our live chat, I bet.
Well, we can cut it out because we've already said what we got to say.
Okay, so all right, so that was your hot seat question. That was a great one. All right, hot seat question for Dirt.
No, you already asked me one. You said, "Can I rap until you come back?" And I couldn't because you're not going to find the picture, bro.
That was just to kill. That was just to kill some time, man. That was not. That wasn't a real question. Okay, here's what everybody wants to know. After you sat in, I'm going to put on the spot. After you sat in Rob Skiva's presentation, and
blew my mind.
Been my friend
that was actually the only one that I could sit all the way through.
Yeah, and you've been my friend for a while. How plausible is the Earth not a globe anymore?
Well, the plausibility of the Earth not being a globe is there, period. It doesn't matter what I think or not. I believe God can do whatever he wants, you know? So if the Earth is triangular, that doesn't do anything for me. That's God's prerogative. However, the aspect of flat Earth that probably draws me the most is that if the Earth is flat and there's this kind of what I would call a straight up conspiracy involved, the magnitude of them trying to not just to cover up, but the magnitude of them trying to steal our perception and worship of God, that blows my mind. That's what blows my mind. If you want to talk about them not going to the moon, I half and pretty much don't believe that either. If you want to talk, all this stuff doesn't even matter to the fact that why are they doing this is my question. And the only reason I hear from people and the only reasons that I accept or that I'm drawn to is, dude, they're trying to steal our worship. They're trying to muddy the water so much that we can't see God for who he is, you know? So that's what bugs me the most about the whole concept. Now, I went to Rob Skiba as a I would joke about flat Earth people more. You know, it wasn't that I was rude or anything, but if anybody brought it up, I'd be like, "Oh, that's crazy," and I would look at all the memes and laugh at them. You know.
Well, why don't you tell the story about jumping in the car with Tom and Jarrett on your way to take on the world?
Well, now I forget who's who. I think Tom it doesn't really
Is
grasp.
not.
Is not, but Jared
Yes.
is. And
Yes.
so I get in the car, and Jared almost, this was the first time I met Jared, and he was like right away, like, "Are you this? Are you that? Are you a flat earther? Are you, you know?" And I was just like, "Whoa, whoa!" It didn't. A lot of the conversation going down was about flat earth. So I'm the type of guys, that if you believe something like that, that's okay. My main question is what Jesus asked of himself: "Who do you say I am?" That's always going to be my number one. So everything else to me is opinion. Jesus Christ is the Son of God, or he is not, and everything else can be debated. And let's have fun debating it. I tell my children all the time, all these conspiracy theories, have fun with them. Don't let them destroy your life. Have fun with them. However, when I listened to Skiba, that was the first night, I came out and I called my wife, you know, because she was going to bed. And first thing she says is, "Are you a flat earther now?" And I told her, and I'll tell anybody to this day, right here and right now, where I'm at with it, is if you go by scripture alone, this sucker is flat. So you take what you want from that. Am I a flat earther? I mean, I'm not going to go teach it and expound on it, because if you want to know about flat earth, there's so many good teachers on it. So I will point you to them. But if you go by scripture alone, this earth is flat. So I guess you got to ask yourself how much you really want to believe scripture, you know?
Yeah, and I'll end that on what I always say. You know, shape of the earth doesn't matter. You know, what matters is that the word is true, and that it can point to who the Messiah is. Because if we throw off the first verse, Genesis 1:1, you know, when we start changing the whole paradigm shift of the whole book of Genesis and everything that it talks about, then it throws off the whole rest of the story. And that's what's so important, is that people need to know that the word can be trusted from the beginning to the end. And even if it makes you look crazy or dumb, you know, this is an apologetic in defense of our Savior. Everything else is you know, the conspiracy aspects, you know, hey, that you can take and leave all that stuff, but you know, the truth of his word, that's what remains true. And that's what we all come together on, whether we agree, disagree on certain things. If that's our premise and what we stand by, that's why we're having such an amazing time with it. So, you know, I'm going to let you guys, if you guys have any, you know, any hot seat questions. It didn't seem like anybody wanted to have a good question. I mean, this was your chance to really dig in and dig the guy that does some digging. Yeah, I mean, you could really dig dirt right here. But man, I'm gonna let you guys know next time you do this, because we're gonna have Pastor Nate Wolf on this, and we're gonna ask him some really tough questions.
Oh, bro, you gotta try to hit me up. I know it's secret and all, but hit me up, because I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna ask a hot seat question for Nate. I got some stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I heard some crazy stuff about this guy, man. He's a crazy dude, man. Man.
Yeah, right.
I heard one time he was at a hotel and somebody tried to throw a shirt to him all the way from like the 5th story, and he caught it like a football player and just started tackling everybody. Man, I want to know the truth.
Hey, Chad, the questions aren't for me. That's all right. Fine. I'll Chad says, "Why is it so hard for you to tell a brother you love them?" See that. This is a person. This is obviously a personal question. You know,
I love you, Chad.
Yeah.
You know I love you.
See, good thing Tony Stover's not watching this, because he would. Chris is going to pretend he didn't see my question. Ask Tony this question, because he's been asking me too. So I don't see anything else. I see Jessica. She had something nice. She wrote that she's not a flat earther. However, she believes the Earth is flat. Um,
She might have
I
been
think
making
that
fun of me right there. I don't
I
know.
think
I
she
think that's
is right
pretty
now.
much
Yeah,
what I said. Golly.
yeah. Nate said he rocks his dirt shirt every day. You might want
Yeah.
to wash that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wash it.
Oh no,
Wash
he
it,
said
Nate.
every week. He said every week. Okay,
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
want
I didn't
every
see
day.
that.
I didn't give you that shirt for free for it not to be
Yep.
worn, Nate. Come on, every day. Dirt shirt.
You know,
Let's
the
go.
one thing is, I never took one of those shirts, man. You were gonna give me that shirt, but you never gave it to me.
Bro, you gotta get it when you
Yeah, I don't
get
know why that.
it, bro, because they disappear.
I was there when those shirts came in. I'll tell you guys the story about this shirt.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
you
tell
were.
you, the first time I met Dirt, those shirts arrived at the door, and man, if you ever seen Dirt mad, it was like he
Oh,
was
I was
acting like
mad.
he was mad, but he really wasn't mad. Because I'm like, man, I would have been really
I was
mad.
mad.
Yeah,
I was
but
real
I
mad.
think maybe you were playing really cool. So those shirts actually should have been a lot cooler. They should have been done better screen printed, multiple screen print, but only got one screen printing. So that's why there's only one
I
color to
paid
them.
for two colors, and it only got
Yeah,
printed once, and the design was really bad. I didn't like it.
yeah,
And he
those
put them
shirts are
on those banana
super
cream
cool.
colors, but they were supposed to be like on a natural, but people still liked them, so I ended up just giving them
Yeah.
away.
Well, you gonna have new? Are you gonna have? So you need to connect with Standstill Clothing, get them your design, and they'll hook you up, and they'll
I'll
have
be
some shirts
honest,
for
the
you.
real problem is the money, man. You're talking about dirt, man. I do everything indie. I don't have no record label support me. I have to do all that stuff on my own. So it's actually rare to get hard copies of CDs or so when they're there, you better ask for them or come get them because they're going to be gone real quick. But I'll try. I think for
Well,
this event, I
I'll,
want to bring some like physical stuff, so I'll try.
yeah. Well, I'll help you find the right person to do that. So, yep, and maybe they'll help you out with a deal
I
too.
want to say hi
So,
to my girl Jessica because I've been enjoying her Bible studies, Nate's Bible studies, Chad Schaefer. I've been enjoying all your guys' stuff while I'm kind of on hiatus right now. So I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out
and
in
that's a
here.
plug for Take on the World TV. Everybody's here, so we're doing it. And she said, "Yo, what's up?" So here we go. We're gonna end the show. Okay, Dirt, tell us where they can find you, and tell us when you're going to be back because now we're putting it on you. There's your next hot seat question. I saw it came through. Dirt, when are you just going to finally do another Bible study? That was your question.
We've been
You
talking
don't see it
about
because
it.
I already
We've been
deleted
talking about it,
it.
but it's coming.
It's
I was
coming.
on a hiatus, but in all honesty, hiatus is going to be over. I will be at Take on the World doing a Bible study, a live word digging. If you haven't caught that, so I'm already excited about that and already praying really hard and fasting and just trying to get real centered on what to bring there. But on the Through the Black channel, I'll make a commitment with you guys tonight. How about that? What's the date right now? Let me see. April 15th.
Today is the 15th.
My
And here's
birthday's
another secret
on
thing.
My birthday's on May 15th. So I'm going to make a commitment to you that I will pump out at least one, if not two, before my birthday. How about that? Yes? No? Everybody?
Love it.
Shake?
Love it.
Shake hands? Yep. Chris, shake hands. All right. We're going to do this.
Okay.
You can find me at
right.
jeremiahdirt.com. You did ask that. And
yes,
or locustfist.com. The bug, locustfist.com. That's where you'll see all the music and all that. And everything online is Jeremiah Dirt, guys. It's so freaking easy to find me. Ugh! Why are you not finding me, major labels? Anyway, that was my angry face.
So we're going to have these. So I'm going to close out. So we're going to have these secret shows just so periodically. So if you're a speaker, if you're somebody who's coming to take on the world, you just may get a call in a random part of the night. And you better look okay because I'm going to try to get.
I was about to go to bed.
And I'm like,
and Chris hits me up like, "Hey, you want to get online right now?" And I was like, I was gonna say no, but then I was like, I love my boy Chris, so I had to
Hey,
go
it wouldn't be secret.
put
You knew,
on.
man.
I was in my pajamas, so I had to go put on my clothes. I had to get Ramses ready. Oh wait, he's still not ready, but whatever. Secret. It's a big secret. So all you guys that are coming to
Yes.
take on the world, get ready because Chris gonna call you at 1 in the morning talking about let's get on Google Hangout and freestyle.
Yes, no doubt. Yes. And so takeontheworld19.com. That's where you guys can go check out the conference, everything that we have going on. We have the Super Thursday kickoff worship concert night. Becca Shea, George Moss, Rob Blackwell going to be doing the music. Everybody else is going to be hanging out, chilling. Come meet all the vendors, the speakers. Everybody's going to have a great time. We're going to have food trucks. We've got the oh boy, we're going to have the giant swing, the zip lines. Those are going to be open throughout the day. So all the adults are going to get to do all that kind of fun stuff. So it's going to be a blast. That's Thursday. Then the full 3-day conference is going to kick off. So yeah, check out our full list of speakers. We're going to have about 30 by the time it's all said and done. And yeah, definitely don't miss 2019. It's going to be great. So another person just subscribed. So awesome. So thank you guys so much for your support. TakeOnTheWorld19.com. Thank you, Nate, putting that in there. And love you guys. There, I said it, Chad. Love you, Chad. Love you, Dirt.
Love
All
you,
right. You guys
Chad.
have a
Love
good
you,
night.
Chris. Love you, Jessica.
Yeah.
Love you, Nate. Everybody who's in the chat room. See you later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
See
get my
ya.
pajamas on
Bye,
and
guys.
go back to bed.
Turn that Jesus movie back on. Good night, everybody.